Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the coolest episode of all time, the Swagger Wagon?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, one of Andrew and I's favorite vehicles. I know it's weird because we are TRD Pro Bros, and when you know, because it's all show and glow.
That's right.
Right?
And it can tow.
And it can tow. Yeah, it can tow. So this vehicle, or this podcast is dedicated to the Sienna.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're going to go pretty deeply into this. But know this, because we have so many kids, Professor and I got 5, he's got 4. We definitely use this vehicle to its max. True?
That's right, yes. We've tested all the features. We know all the ins and outs. This vehicle is a home run.
And you know, it's funny with him and I, we've got plenty of stories on those side doors that are automatic. One of my favorite parts of it. You don't have to worry about your kids dinging other vehicles.
Door edge guards only go so far.
Yeah. But before we go too deep into the product, we got to emphasize we actually got cool TRD Pro Bros shirts.
That's right.
To bring some energy to how rad this Swagger Wagon is.
It's so
right?
good.
Can we say swagger, swagger, swagger? Yeah, let's do that.
100%.
So, by the way, you do look good in that shirt. I was checking you out.
Thank you.
Amazing.
We
working out?
We both look good.
Oh, thanks, dude. On top of that, we also got some cool hats.
Literally, on top of that.
Yeah, on top of that, cool hats, and they're trucker hats, but we're talking about a passenger van, not a truck. So that's kind of weird.
We're trying to just get you all mixed up, right? Get out of your normal expectations and let's talk about this vehicle.
And we have this logo that we thought's kind of cool because it makes me feel like overlanding. Mm-hmm. Talk about that, Andrew. Why is that hat so cool?
I mean, here's the deal. We've talked about overlanding a lot lately. We've been going through lots of body on frame, right? All of that refresh has been distracting us from some of our vehicles that carry so much weight. Mm-hmm. This vehicle can do so many of the things that we talk about for overlanding, like this image, right? It gets us out in the woods. It gets you out there camping. It carries cargo. It carries passenger. So we really want to focus on changing the narrative, not just of what everyone expects it to do because it's got sliding doors, but all the things that it really can do and still does really, really well.
And in our opinion, to be honest, there's no better road trip vehicle than the Sienna.
It literally cannot be beat.
Yeah, if you said you can have a Sequoia or a Land Cruiser or the Sienna, I will take the Sienna all day long and Sunday.
Everything about it is the perfect road trip vehicle. I know there's people like, oh, well, the Grand Highlander. Yeah, It still can't be beat.
It can't be beat. So here's the cool thing, right? Last episode we talked about building vehicles from the ground up. The Toyota brand means abundant rice field, and it's the Toyota with a D. Right? That's Akio Toyota.
Their family name.
Right? Yep. Family name, Abundant Rice Field. They moved the second T, and they created the T from the D because it's 7 brushstrokes in Japanese, which creates a good luck.
Yeah.
Right? That 7 brushstrokes, the number 7 is good luck.
Yeah.
And so when I look at that abundant rice field and that good luck, the Sienna is the perfect vehicle that encompasses that whole definition.
Yeah, the whole mantra, everything that's explained and everything is connected to that, Sienna.
Yeah, and here's the tough part. We're telling you right now, which might not mean anything to our audience, and that's where Genchi Gabutsu comes in. Go look, go see. Everyone that I've gotten into the Sienna, including family members, they drive it and they say, oh my gosh, they look around at the dashboard, the seats, and they say, I cannot believe how nice this vehicle is.
Like as they're sliding into the seat, it's like the same comment every time. Wow.
Yes.
This car is so nice. I haven't even started driving yet.
Yeah. Exactly. And just the way it handles around turns, the fuel economy, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And one thing that's a key aspect of this, because I've worked with Toyota since the first generation, is Kaizen, continuous improvement. They have literally, our Toyota engineers have literally improved this vehicle each generation.
Massive improvements. It's not been like, oh yeah, it's a little bit better, it's a little bit better. It's like, boom, huge improvement. Boom, huge improvement. And honestly, with each one, I kept thinking like, how are they going to top this? Like when we were at the previous gen, right? The V6, the 2GR powertrain, I'm like, this car is the pinnacle. It looks amazing. It's so good. How is this new hybrid one going to beat it? It did. Yeah. I'm like, after you drove it, don't need the other one.
Yeah. And it's funny too, to your point, like the grandpa was really the Previa, the little egg-shaped van. It was pretty cool. It was different.
Yeah.
And then they had the first generation Sienna, and I like the V6. Had a lot of power, but I still felt like we were trying to catch up to Honda because they just dominated that segment as far as looks and performance and all that. Today with the 25 Sienna, I think everyone's trying to catch up to us.
There's nobody even close.
Yeah. And so here's the cool thing. We can talk and give you all the accolades on how rad we think the Swagger Wagon is.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But I do want to emphasize Kelly Blue Book Consumer Choice Awards. We actually got the #1 spot for the 25 Sienna as the best minivan.
Which we knew we were going to get. They just made it official.
Yeah, so if you put Swagger and Kelly Blue Book,
oh, yeah,
you got pure awesome.
The whole package.
You got the whole package.
So speaking of the whole package, this whole package is a U.S. vehicle, right? This vehicle is designed for us. It's built in Princeton, Indiana. We've got over 100,000 units a year being produced. If you look at those reports about which vehicle has which amount of USA content, guess what's always at the top of the list? The Sienna. It's made by Americans. It's made for Americans. It's made in America. It's made with American parts. That is like so much pride and happiness in one vehicle. It's awesome, right? So I love that that's the story, the background of the Sienna and the foundation of it. And then when you have people like, if you're familiar with Han from Fast and Furious, his real name is Sung Kang. He has had a few interviews with Motor Trend. He's got some podcasts that he's joined onto, and all of them, you can check him out on Instagram and other places like that, where he talks about how awesome his Sienna is. And even though he's surrounded by incredible, fancy, high-dollar cars, his pick for his daily is that Sienna. And he goes through all these great reasons why. Please go check it out. I agree with all of them, and I love seeing it.
And in that podcast, they asked him, like, when you go to the store, do you drive a Porsche, GTR, Supra? And he goes, well, I once took my wife's Sienna, and it was forever mine. I said, go get another car, because this one's mine. It's such a good story that I got to tip my hat.
That's right.
To our Fast and the Furious guy. So let's set the stage. This is going to be a high-energy podcast. That's why we're in our high-energy shirts. Let's watch this cool Swagger Wagon video about a family rapping about how rad this vehicle is.
Heck
totally
yeah.
Rad, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, this one goes out to all you minivan families out there. Sienna SE in the house.
Where my mother father's at?
Where my kids at?
Where my kids at? Or 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 where my kids at?
No, seriously, honey, where are the kids?
They're right there, see?
Oh, cool beans.
I roll hard through the streets and the cul-de-sacs. Proud parent of an honor roll student, Jack. I got a swing in the front, a tree house in the back. My #1 dad mug says, yeah, I'm the Mac.
I'm the world's best nurse when my kids get sick. I make a mean gel mold, I perfected my tricks. Back when I used to party as a college chick. Now I'm cruising to their play dates, looking all slick.
In my swagger wagon, yeah, the swagger wagon. It's the swagger wagon. I got the pride in my ride in my swagger wagon. Yeah, the swagger wagon. It's the swagger wagon. Check it, I love hanging with my daughter, sipping tea, keep my pinky up. All the drawings on my fridge scored an A+. I'm an awesome parent,
Right.
and it's apparent.
True.
And in this house there's no mother, father swearing.
Straight owning bake sales with my cupcake skills. I'm better with the money, so I handle the bills. And I always buy in bulk, ain't afraid of no spills. Every Mother's Day proves I'm kind of a big deal. Bring the beat back, cause yo, I got more to say. You know I'm always front and center at the school play. I kiss their boo-boos, clean doggy doo-doos, cut the crust off the PB&Js, chill the yoo-hoos.
Singing Farmer in the Dell in perfect harmony. When I'm rolling with my posse in the HOV. We rock the SE, not an SUV. And it's true, if I were you, I'd be jealous of me. In the swagger wagon, yeah, the swagger wagon. It's the swagger wagon. I got the pride in my ride in my swagger wagon. Yeah, the swagger wagon. It's the swagger wagon. Rolling, rolling.
Okay, I don't know about you, my peeps, but that video gets me jacked up, right? It gets me jacked up on some peanut butter and jellies. To all you mother fathers, shut the sliding doors. Let's go.
That video is just like everything that it should be. And it's sad that so many people don't know it exists. So hopefully this was new for some people, because the Swagger Wagon, it's just such an amazing car, and it gets no love from so many people. We're here to bring it some love,
Yeah.
right? And one of the ways it brings love is what we call omotenashi, and this is anticipatory hospitality, exceeding expectations. That's exactly what this vehicle does. When you come into this vehicle and you experience it, it exceeds what you thought you would get. The hospitality and features and convenience aspects exceed what you would experience, what you would think you would experience in that vehicle. I experience it myself as the driver. My kids experience it as passengers. Everything about it is delivering more than what our customers are expecting to get. And that's why it's such a great vehicle.
Yeah, totally awesome. And it's funny you mentioned that, because this omotenashi mentality, I was reading this book called Unreasonable Hospitality. You can get this book, and it's about the restaurant business in New York City and 5-star Michelin restaurants and how they compete, and they have to exceed your expectations. And earlier in the podcast, we were talking about that. We have our family get in this car, and even when I'm on the road and the reps have it, I'm like, my gosh, this vehicle's nice. It just automatically unreasonably exceeds my expectations.
I was driving the other night with a friend. He drives an LX 470, so it's basically a Land Cruiser. Very nice vehicle. We had to run to the store, hopped in the Sienna. As he sits in, he's like, wow, this car is so nice. And I haven't even started driving yet. We start driving, he's like, wow, this car rides so well. I feel like I'm sitting in a Land Cruiser. And after tearing up a little bit, I composed myself and we continued on our trip. But those are the experiences we have every time.
Yeah.
It's like, man, this car is so convenient. It rides so well. I can't believe you got that good of gas mileage. It's so quiet in here. The list goes on.
Yeah, and guys my age, they love their Porsches, their M3s, and McLarens and Corvettes. I love pulling up next to these guys in my Sienna, and in my opinion, I'm dope.
Oh, yes.
I got a way better car.
It's not just his opinion. It is a fact.
It is a fact, yeah. I'm fast and furious. Everyone knows that.
So to appeal to all the different types of customers that we have, we've got 6 grades. We've got LE, we've got XLE, we've got XSE, we've got Woodland Edition, we've got Limited, and we've got Platinum. So we've got this whole spread of vehicles with different interiors and features and functions. We've got 8 passengers if you need in an LE for our base model, and then the other ones are going to be 7 passenger. Now that's specific to our all-wheel drive because that's what we focus on here, and we'll get a little bit more into that later. But we've got such a nice variety of options and features in this vehicle, including Woodland Edition, which has a small 1/2-inch lift on the vehicle for more ground clearance.
Yeah, and when you look at that extra lift, that's cool.
That's right.
And if that's cool, I'm putting on my cool shades for my section.
100% Woodland Edition.
Yeah.
This is the whole
cool hat,
get-up.
cool shades, cool shirt.
Cool guy.
Thanks, dude. Let's do a little heart for everyone.
That's right.
So, sliding doors, we talked about that earlier. I don't have to worry about my kids opening up. They love pushing the button. Tell the story about your
Almost
daughter.
too much love, right? So you've got 2 things on this current generation. One is we added the button to the outside, right? So before you had a kid that the door handle's right here and they're trying to yank on it to get the door open. Now they just push that black button. Super easy. Again, over delivery on the hospitality features. But you also have the button on the inside, which you've had for a while. And my youngest, Millie, we'll all get out of the car. She wants to be last out because she'll sit on the edge of the car door like she's going to slide out. The button's just eye level. She just pushes it, slides out of the car and goes. And if you reach in there and touch it before she can do that, you're in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
It's a bad situation.
And here's the amazing thing, too, and we'll let the cat out of the bag, right? This vehicle has a 2nd-generation hybrid system, right?
Yeah.
Our Prius and Camrys, it's safe to say it's 5th generation.
Yep.
And when you drive those cars, you're like, oh my gosh, this is state-of-the-art. How smooth it is and how amazing it performs. So this is a 2nd generation. You're thinking, MJ, that's a dinosaur. But even having said that, this Alpha 25A FXS engine is still phenomenal. I mean, for a vehicle that big, getting 34 miles per gallon when I drive it, 30 when he drives it.
It happens.
My wife gets 31 miles per gallon, but it boasts a 245 horsepower engine with a 16-valve, 2.5-liter powertrain, all aluminum block, dual overhead cam, right?
Yeah.
And here's the funny thing. The variable valve timing engine, we don't really talk about that. We used to put that and badge that on our vehicles.
Be a huge label.
Yeah, VVTI. A lot of Hondas would put DOHC, and you're like, whoa, dope, right? But we still have that technology, lots of intelligence, a lot of ECUs throughout the engine, but it's designed specifically for hybrid.
Yeah.
So for customers that come in for the first time, they're like, wow, this is state of the art. Even for us,
Yeah.
it's still behind.
Right. And
Right.
that's like, again, luckily we're leaving some room to grow there, because when this thing gets 5th gen, I don't even know what to expect, because it's still amazing in its current configuration.
Yeah, and having said that, I'm kind of getting tired of being cool with these cool shades because I'm just a low-key dude.
my God.
So let's kick it over to the professor and talk about what makes this powertrain so amazing.
So this hybrid powertrain, and this is, my philosophy is I can drive aggressively and I still get 30. Cool, that's a win. MJ's like, I'm going to hybrid mile this thing. I got to beat Andrew in my fuel economy. But this hybrid system with
34.
with this eCVT, right? We've got MG1 and MG2, and they're working together with our power split device. We've talked about this before in some of our trainings, but it's looking at how are you driving to give you maximum drivability and maximize efficiency. So we're blending the best we can between the battery's energy and our vehicle's engines energy and our kinetic energy to make this thing all happen. We've got all-wheel drive, so we've got another motor generator in the rear of the vehicle. Instead of having couplers going back and forth to drive shafts, we've just got power cables. And like MJ mentioned, we've got a lot of ECUs, a lot of really intelligent software, and things that we're able to control even better than a traditional style of all-wheel drive. So we get this really incredible performance out of the vehicle. Not a high-performance, top-speed performance situation, but a maximizing handling and traction in this platform. And it does so well. I have personally more confidence in the all-wheel drive system in the snow on regular roads in my Sienna than I do in a four-wheel drive Sequoia or Tundra, not because they're bad, but because it's low to the ground. The all-wheel drive system works so well that it just brings a lot of confidence because I have such great handling in the vehicle.
And I totally agree, having spent a lot of seat time in this car. The thing I love about it is like 20 years ago in our Highlander Hybrid, first gen, when we introduced it, we had Vehicle Dynamic Integrated Management. We called it VDIM. And it was a proactive system versus the vehicle stability control that was reactive, right? It realized the car is getting out of control on a turn, the yaw rate sensor kicks in, and it gets you around the turn. VDIM literally proactively is already getting you around the turn before you even recognize the car slipping.
Yep.
Now it's all integrated into all these hybrid systems with the traction control, what they still call vehicle stability control.
Yeah, VSC.
VSC,
Yep.
but that VDIM technology is already into the VSC. So I feel incredibly safe when I have my 5 kids in the car, it's snowing or it's icy or it's black ice, and I'm going a reasonable speed, right? Because physics takes over if you're going 100 miles an hour into a left turn.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Hello.
only have so much traction in your tires,
Yeah,
right?
that's not cool. So I won't give you these shades if you're doing that.
That's right. Get out of here. So all these things tied together, right? We've got a nickel metal hydride battery in this vehicle, similar to our vehicles like our body on frame. This is meant to carry passengers and payload. So putting our lithium ion in there, that weight savings isn't really maximizing what we're getting out of it. We need to save those rare materials for our Prius and our Camry, which are really maximizing our fuel economy over the entire range. So we've still got this tried and true technology, which is another positive, right? You're going to take this vehicle, you're going to stick your family in it, you're going to go on a road trip. I'm not worried about anything. It may not be cutting edge, but its performance is incredible and it's tried and true. Sign me up. That's the one. That's what I want in there. I want something to not worry about and just deliver consistent, incredible results. And something else about this, I was worried about this powertrain because I loved the 2GR, the old V6 gas, fantastic powertrain. But with this electric motor, these electric motors in our hybrid powertrain, right, we get 54 horsepower of electric, which is instantaneous torque. When I come up to the lights on an on-ramp, you know, you're waiting for the traffic, and I got a Ram 1500 next to me, pedal to the metal, I'm all the way down, he's in my rearview mirror, you can tell he's pissed off because he just got passed by a Sienna, and then I look down and I'm still averaging 30 miles a gallon as I continue on the highway. It's like everything you want in one package, and I love it.
Do you have the Star Wars action figures to show how many kids you have?
I
Soccer
should.
balls?
I need to do that, and then on the other side, I need to put like slashes through pickup trucks for all the
Yeah.
vehicles I beat every morning on my way to work.
Powered by Gatorade. Hey, you know, that was actually a really good job, Professor. It was so good. We got to call him out. He did a totally rad dude job
That's
on
right.
that section.
I appreciate that.
Pretty amazing.
I appreciate that.
But you know what else is also TRD, totally rad dude? Kelly Blue Book.
Stop.
We were searching on the internet, and we did that on purpose so that the viewers can do this too, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you should be able to check us.
This isn't just our hypothesis. This is what people have researched. This is their job,
So
right?
I was on Google AI, and I looked at, you know, because really our biggest competition is Honda,
Right.
the Honda.
Right.
But if you're looking for an all-wheel drive hybrid, the only other option on the market is a Chrysler Pacifica, right?
Boo.
And I looked at their Pinnacle model, which is their top of the line, and compared it to our Limited, which is not our top of the line
Yeah.
model, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring it a little closer on resale value. And our Sienna, the 03 or 23,
23.
was $48,000. That's what the value of the car is, and that's a national average. If you were gonna try to sell it on a, you know, Craigslist or something like that.
Yeah.
Pacifica was 42,000. That was the national average on AI Google. That's a $6,000 swing.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
And that's only the resale value. That doesn't
Yeah.
include parts, repair, maintenance, other costs involved along
Yes.
the other 2 years
Which
of
is
ownership.
so well noted, right? Because
Mhm.
if you look at their best fuel economy, according to the EPA, is 30. Ours is 36. That's another 6 mile
Yeah.
per gallon swing. So you have a $6,000 swing for Kelly Blue Book, and you have a 6 mile per gallon swing. So there's a lot of value built up in this Sienna.
Mine is 30 though.
Yeah. Yeah, when he tried, it's Fast and the Furious, right? Get
That's
that
a
little
watch.
NOS can.
That doesn't apply to me.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we've been giving you a lot of lifestyle because we put a lot of time in these Sienna vans. Let's go to Mountain Meg and see what she's got for us.
Mountain
Yeah.
Meg here. Just want to talk to you about some of the safety features of the Sienna because it's about keeping people safe, right? So in my experience of driving, I've found some of these improved safety features to almost be a little bit obnoxious right away. It's like people have this feeling of like, I'm not in control of my vehicle. It always wants me to steer this way or steer that way, and I feel like I'm bumping between lanes. But the longer I've left those systems on and gotten used to how they really do alert me to when I'm not being the best driver, even though I always am, but when I'm not being the best driver, it really does alert me to things that otherwise could have been kind of detrimental or an accident. And for all of us driving on I-25 in the morning, we know how frustrating it is to pass accidents all day, every day. It's sad, it takes a long time, it's expensive. So to put these features in the vehicle really does make life easier for everybody. One thing I want to talk about is that brake assist. The first time I had this happen to me, I was terrified because it gives it really all it's got in slamming on the brakes when you're maybe about to hit something. And I was like, we didn't need a 5-bell alarm for that. I'm going to need to go to the ER for this now. But if, you know, we've all kind of had that happen where someone's driving and they're adjusting the air conditioning or they're checking their map or they're picking up something their kid dropped on the floor and suddenly they've rear-ended somebody. These different features really do cut down on those types of things that happen. Driver awareness, vehicle capability, all those things come into play when talking about TSS 2.0. So the lane brake assist I think is super handy, even though it might give you a slight heart attack. Then we also have lane trace assist, which the improvement I really like about that is before with lane trace assist, it used to be like bumper bowling. You know, when you're just not good at bowling, so you throw the bumpers in the gutters in the cart, or the ball kind of bounces between the two. Well, now with lane trace assist, it comes with lane centering. So rather than just bumper bowling, it tries to keep that bowling ball or car centered between the two lanes the whole time. So it fills in and cushions some of those gaps a little bit, which I find more comfortable. And then also the adaptive cruise control. I know this is a love it or hate it sort of on the money or miss topic, but with the adaptive cruise control, it sets a specific distance for following a vehicle and keeps adjusting that distance as you come up on a vehicle or even as you're going around that vehicle. It adapts the speed for you. And something I like about that is normally our driving habits can kind of be called out of, a lot of us love to, especially when people are going slow in that left-hand lane, come up right behind that vehicle and then swerve around them. Well, this cruise control isn't going to allow us to do that anymore. We don't need any more road rage in Denver. You got to take your time, put on your blinker. The signal will help the speed adjust as you go around that vehicle. So I like that as well. It keeps us safer, keeps our passengers safer and more comfortable. There are far fewer gasps and handle grabs from the passenger seat, which makes everybody far more happy. So safe vehicle, safe people.
All right, we talked a little bit about this, and Meg covered some fantastic stuff related to our safety. We know we've got a lot of passengers in this vehicle, and for me and for MJ, they're young passengers that we very much care about because they're related to us. This is a pinnacle aspect of the vehicle, is our safety systems. And we've got TSS. We know we have that on other vehicles. And this is not unique to the Sienna, but we want to highlight that this is an important aspect to it because it is seen as a people mover, specifically young kids. So we've got National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, and we have Institute for Highway Safety. Both of those give us a 5-star crash rating in this vehicle. And this is what we want. Like, for us, that's the minimum standard. That may be their top rating, but that is where we have to end up on a vehicle like this, knowing that all of the design that goes in this vehicle caters around the safety of the passengers. And there's a lot of misunderstanding out there in the world, right? We talk about, old vehicles had really thick steel and new vehicles have thin steel, so they're not as nice and things like that. And you look at crash videos of old vehicles and they still look pretty good, and the new vehicles are just mangled and torn apart. And we want to help people understand that that's intentional. On our vehicle, we're using things like crumple zone technology. We're using things like high tensile strength steel, okay? Those types of materials, we have like 4 or 5 different types of steels that we put in different areas. Some vehicles have aluminum. It's not because we're trying to cheap out. We're not putting thin door panels on because we want to save money and we don't want you to have as nice of a car. All these things are designed to protect the passenger compartment and absorb energy. Energy is lazy. It's going to go the path of least resistance. We want to push that energy all around where all of our passengers are to make sure that if the energy gets to there, we're going to protect you with that high tensile strength steel. We're going to protect that cavity that you're in. But everything else, I want it to get mangled. I want it to be torn up. I want it to be crushed. I want your vehicle to be unrecognizable if it means that that energy never entered your body.
And it's so cool when I've seen the frames, they're multiple layers, right? And that's how they get the strength. But what's amazing is it's stronger than the old way we used to build frames.
Yep.
But it's also lighter. So you have a better power to weight ratio, which also equates to a better fuel economy and performance overall.
Yeah, and handling. You've heard about it before. People who have a very underpowered car, they're nervous about merging over because they can't maintain. If we're trying to maintain and avoid situations, I need some power, I need good braking, I need some handling.
You know what I need? I need some Swagger Wagon right now.
He's right. We've got another good video, so I hope you mother fathers are ready. Let's check it out.
All right, listen up, mother fathers. This one's about the Swagger Wagon. I wash your mouth out with soap if you call it a minivan. That's a dirty word. Drop that beat.
Yeah, it's called the Swagger Wagon. I know that it sounds like bragging when we pull up to karate. Other parents' tongues are wagging. They be like, who that is? It's just us and the kids swagging hard until it's dark. Getting home around 8 p.m.
Then it's lights out, kids, okay?
Aww.
Hey, rules are rules.
We gonna roll in the Swagger Wagon. The neighbors know, cause their rides are lagging. That's how we go. Books on tape, I'm blasting. Wipe off your shoes when you step inside my Swagger Wagon.
Our swag smoother than butter, is louder than thunder. We kicking like punters in matching red jumpers. Can speed bumps over the limit. Pants on time, never late 1 minute. Homework turned in right around 6-ish. Getting everything on a holiday wish. Now we hot like summer, so you ain't gotta wonder how dad heard his lumber while unloading lumber. He shouted, "Oh, brother!" Well, not exactly, oh, brother. He said, then don't tell your mother.
Whoa! No swearing. You are in trouble later. I am taking over this song. Luckily, SiriusXM has tons of great channels.
Wait. Why are you talking like that? Did you just do product placement inside our Swagger Wagon music video?
Yeah, how else do you think we got Busta Rhymes on the track?
I'm looking forward to this.
Look, I done been around the world in every square inch of the planet. It don't matter where we at, we keep it fresh down to the fabric. Keep it regal, sharp as a needle. You know that it's a habit. All my folks is powerful people. You know we got it mastered. I see the way you do it and the way you get to cracking. Okay, you pull up rims shining. Trust me, I'm digging your wagon. Again, we go across the almanac. Y'all know who be the waviest, but when it comes to this cul-de-sac, this family is the craziest.
We love being parents, but when it's tough to bear it, we need a night out. Call up Marco and Karen, dressed up to the nines. Then after we dine, our first time in the club since 2009. It's a parents' night out, so much fun and then about a quarter to 10 when we're tired, no doubt. We're headed back home. They got kids, so you know they're asleep in their seats, and I'm rapping alone. Swagger wagon, swag. We gonna roll in the Swagger wagon. The neighbors know, 'cause they're rocker lagging. That's how we go. Take the racket, wipe off your shoes. Step inside my Swagger wagon.
All right. Oh, but I hope you enjoy that video. It's so cool how Toyota's able to build those videos for us, put them on, YouTube and all those platforms. But now we're searching and seeking curbside Kellers. We know how our audience loves the curbside.
It felt like something was missing. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
We need some curbside.
And
Thanks for the intro, guys. Curbside Keller here again. We're talking Sienna this month. Christian, MJ, A-List said already gushed about the Sienna. Of course, it fits their life, their family. I think it's a great road trip vehicle. I love it when I need to move people. You're a Sienna driver. You're routinely a Sienna driver, but you don't meet the demographic. What draws you to the Sienna?
I know. I get a lot of people telling me that as a single guy, I really should just be driving something cooler like a truck or, Sequoia or something like that. But truly, I love the Sienna. And it's just because you never really know when you're going to need it. But when you need it, you're glad you have it. Depending on the day, and if I want to take 4 or 5 of my friends on a long road trip and all of their luggage and only fill up gas one time, it's a perfect vehicle. You really can't do any better. And I play a ton of golf, and especially for the summer, exactly the same sort of thing. I need to take all my friends and all their golf clubs, and it's got a cooler if I want to throw a couple beverages in there. And honestly, it's definitely more than just a mom car.
That I don't think you can say much more than that. I think you're the great spokesman for the other batch of Sienna customers.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your time, Christian. Just a few moments ago, talked to Christian, young single guy, Sienna driver. Totally not the stereotypical Sienna owner, Sienna driver. You kind of fit that category too. What draws you to the Sienna?
I absolutely love the Sienna. No, it isn't just a mom car to me. I think it's awesome. It fits so many people. My favorite story with the Sienna is I went on a ski trip up to Tahoe with some friends, and we fit 6 of us plus all of our ski gear without even a roof rack on top, and we were able to pack everyone in comfortably, and it is truly the best ski wagon you can imagine.
So, lifestyle. Lifestyle is the draw of Sienna. Lifestyle and popular like you are with lots of friends. Curbside has very few friends besides A-List and MJ, but it's a hauler.
Yeah, it's comfortable. It's good for a long road trip. It's the most comfortable car you can have for a long road trip, whether you're driving or a passenger. So that makes me sold just based off that.
Well, thanks for your insight on the Sienna. Keep on driving.
Woo!
All right, pure awesomeness, Keller. Crushed that interview again. We are now part of the show where we've got to show the glow, because when you know, and you're listening to TRD Pro Bros, and we've already talked about the toe.
And we're looking at The portfolio.
Portfolio. Oh my gosh, that's another good one. That's so good. So let's put on these cool glasses, right? And talk about this show and glow. TPCO, that's our Toyota Parts Center online. You can use this address if you don't use Google, autoparts.toyota.com. Every time we have a 3-day weekend or a holiday, check it out because they usually have 20-25% off accessories, including TRD, AAP. That comes out of our margin, right? Not the Toyota stores. So just check randomly. We don't know when they're going to be running this stuff, but I check it once a week.
Yeah.
To see it.
You've got your list of things you're wanting.
Yeah.
You know?
2 weeks ago, I saw TRD wheels for much less than retail.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something you might want to scope. We also have our AIM platform that you would use if you're buying at our Toyota stores. It's our accessory interactive menu, and it's kind of an Amazon type like buying where you can actually see what you can put on a Toyota Sienna van.
Yep.
And it's pretty neat because the average customer is spending anywhere from $1,400 to $1,600 of accessories. And why? Because they can put it in a payment.
Yep.
So if they spend $500 or $700, it could be $10, $12, $14 a month. Totally affordable.
Yeah.
But we have a 60 to 63% close ratio. In fact, last month we had a 63% close ratio because the customers are just closing themselves.
And here's the other thing. They didn't know that existed prior to this. So I would guess that some of those people, they were already going to do it, no problem. And then the other ones are like, oh, cool, I'm glad you brought this up. I didn't know how to figure that out. I didn't have the resources, didn't know it was applicable. Now I know. I would like to have those.
And the Toyota Financial Bank, they're putting that advance on, especially if it's Toyota Genuine or TRD. So let's take advantage of that. The one thing that we would look at, because we are consumers of the Sienna, is I get the headphones because we've got our iPad that we HDMI into the hookup. We've got 150 movies set up for road trips.
Yeah.
I like the all-weather floor mats because my kids spill all the time. Like I could live in our van for a week because there's so much food back there. Albeit stale, I could survive, right?
He wouldn't love it, but he would live.
Yeah, half-drunken water bottles and Gatorade. I could pound those if it came down to survival. So there's a lot of cool accessories. We're going to show you some stuff that we've got for you. But let's go to Andrew, the professor. What do you got on the A-list?
And MJ, I really appreciate you teeing this up because here's the deal. That's what comes to mind, right? The all-weather floor mats, the headphones for Sienna, because we think of it as one style of vehicle. But we're going to take you outside and show you something a little bit different because it's not just a people mover, right? We talked, it can do overlanding, it can do the camping, it can do these things. So we're going to take you outside, do a little walk around about a different perspective on how the Sienna can be used, not just for people who have huge families.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're out here at the Sienna. We're going to run through what we were thinking when we built this thing, and it's pretty exciting. Whose feet are these? You leave these things open for 2 seconds, and some dude takes a nap in it.
Oh my gosh, this thing is so comfortable. And you know the craziest thing? It's on top of a Sienna.
High mileage and high comfort.
My body is overlanding right now.
I don't think I'm going to get much out of MJ for the rest of the show, but we'll take you through the rest of it anyways. All right. So now we're going to get into some overlanding with this vehicle. Again, this is all very simple setup. We already know that there's tons of cargo room in the back of this vehicle. So sometimes we'll have an odd number of people and we'll just leave one seat up, other seat down, so we've got tons of space. So you can have fridge, equipment, clothes, all the stuff locked and dried inside the vehicle. I've got my recovery bag back here. I usually have that with me. I've got a shovel, I've got a tow strap, random assortment things, leftover snack, that's always good. So we've got lots of space inside the vehicle, but the problem is if we got a bunch of stuff in there, I'm not sleeping inside of here. So we know that this vehicle is super comfortable, great gas mileage for give me to location, but I need to have more space. So that's where our crossbars and roof rack come in. This is a Dometic air tent. It actually uses air to inflate it, so it keeps it a little bit lighter, but you can see it fits perfectly on this vehicle. So it sits nice and flat because our roof rack bars are staggered in height, but I've got nice full length, even MJ fits full length inside this tent, 2 people's worth of space up there. You can sleep, fold it all back up, and then you're off and moving again. So I get to keep the cabin set up really nice. I've got my car seats in there. We're getting comfort with all the features like entertainment in the vehicle while we're driving somewhere, an easy pop out, and having a nice place to sleep. And all that fits nicely together, right? We've got our sliding doors so everything passes underneath the ladder without getting in the way of it. And everything's still really easy to access. I just essentially made a nice, dry, level, convenient place for me to sleep on top of this vehicle. And one last thing I'll show you on this side. You saw these at our 4Runner launch. You're going to see them again. Traction boards, right? I'm not saying that you're going out into mud pits or into the sand with the Sienna, but guess what? It's level up there now, so MJ gets an even more restful sleep. So all these little things that it may seem mismatched to even have a roof tent on this vehicle, but it's light, it fits perfectly. I've now got 2 nice sleeping spots up there, and when I've been driving it on the highway, I don't hear a single thing back behind me. So great setup, unique usage, but this vehicle truly can do more than just carry kids.
All right, my peeps, we are so excited to show you how we use the Sienna van in real life. Now, typically for me, if I'm training, I got to get miles in for an event. I will typically have my bike, this is one of my favorite things in life, have my bike set up like this, where I can just literally pull it out, right? Nice carbon,
hey.
Set up to the side of the car. And I always have my pump because I got to pump it to about 95. That's typically how I like to ascend and descend, with 95 PSI. I got my pump. I've got my cooler full of nice cold water that I can do my Scratch Labs recovery. So I'll mix that all in there for after the ride. Typically my changing station, let me move this out of the way here. My changing station is this door right here. What I love about the Sienna van is they got these shades you pull up so you can't really see in, right? I've got all my gear, my helmet, my gloves, my shoes that I can put in. I usually change in this seat. What's so cool is you can see this one, we've got car seats, right? Typically I always have a seat that's open for me to change, but it's usable not only for my personal life, but also my family life as well. And again, like Andrew said in the podcast, there's that button, and there's one over here as well that closes the door.
Okay. All right, so we've taken you outside, showed you our sweet overlanding Sienna that we have. Kind of caters to me, caters to MJ. It's just our love of vehicle all right in there. But that brings us to our Swagger Wagon top 5 accessories, okay? So number 1, our codes. I'm going to list the codes and what the item is. 3T, our roof rack, okay? This is super important. We needed that to have this roof tent on there that we just showed you outside. I'm a big proponent. I gotta see those bars on the top of the Sienna when I get one because it adds so much versatility to the vehicle. Number 2, EF, the rear bumper application. This may seem trivial, but so many times people are bringing things out of that deep weld, lots of storage trunk area, and it rubs on the bumper. Having that on there, pull it out, don't even worry about it. It glides right across that instead of damaging the paint on that rear bumper. So number 2 is that EF rear bumper application. Number 3, 59, the quick charge cable package. We've got a lot of devices in the vehicle. You got to keep people entertained on the long road trips. These cables are actually really nice. You can feel the heft in them, very durable. And there's a variety of plug styles on there so you can get everybody's type of device taken care of on there. Number 4, G4. Illuminated door stills. Is it necessary? No, but it looks sick when you open up the door and Sienna is glowing from the rocker or from the door sills right there. Love seeing these on the vehicle, and it also protects from scratches. My kids step up on that door sill because they got short legs, so it's a nice little thing to protect that. And finally, but not least important, is our 2T all-weather floor mats. MJ already explained, this catches your goldfish, your Cheez-Its, your Gatorade, your milk, anything you can think of, the snow, the mud, the dirt, the sand. All of those things are caught in these nice all-weather floor mats, so you just have a little strip to clean around the outside. And we even, in the captain chairs models, it's got a strip right down the center, so you've got all those areas covered. So really, really well done. Very nice all-weather floor mats for this vehicle. Honestly, I probably should have put that as my top 1, but you know, we already know that our top 5 is not necessarily in that order. It's just 5 of those items, okay?
And if I had to rank them too, I'd rank them the same way you did because we both have families.
Yeah.
And so this vehicle is really designed not only for your own personal enjoyment, but also to make sure your family's safe. It's in a great place. And my gosh, my kids just love the vehicle.
Yeah.
Right?
Just like we do. That's why we love them.
Totally rad, dude.
If they didn't love it, probably have to get rid of them.
Right? So we are at the end of this Sienna, this Swagger Wagon broadcast. We hope you loved our rap videos. We had Mountain Meg doing a great tune-up, catching us in the act of getting a little nap time during work hours.
It happens.
Yeah,
It
and some of us
happens.
just get tired, and the air conditioning felt so good in there. I had to have a blanket.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
But Megan, you killed it again. We hope you learned something about how amazing this vehicle is, and know this, because of Kaizen, the next generation that will come out in a few years will be even better. So that's something we can look forward to.
Yeah.
We love you guys, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of TRD Pro Bros, because when you know,
you glow.
And you tow.
With your portfolio.
Love you guys. Thank you.